We also made a request yesterday, and that request was immediately fulfilled. We asked, hey, it's the Super Bowl. It's time for one of these guys at the Super Bowl to just go ahead and all-out demand the trade. Mm-hmm. Well, Jay Glazer says Max Crosby needs to be traded. He's done in Vegas. He's played his last. It's his call. He's out. Mm-hmm. So Joe, we did it. We did it. Yep. We got the guy to formally, although he didn't do it himself.
No, a reporter did it.
It's Glazer that did it. And I don't exactly know. Glazer's not an agent, right? He's just he's a reporter. He's an insider reporter, trainer. He does a lot. I don't know that
he is an insider. He's Fox's Schefter. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. He said that when Crosby posted or did something, he had 20 teams call him. Glazer. Is this real? Does he really want to go? 20 teams have checked in with Jay Glazer to say, this report about Crosby, how legit is it? And appears legit. So
I saw T. Higgins and Jamar Chase talking about it yesterday, about him coming to the Bengals a little bit.
He'll be coveted.
They're having all the guys on Radio Row that aren't up for trades. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins aren't gonna cause a stir. Right?
No,
I saw CeeDee Lamb was up there yesterday.
Yep.
He did get asked about Pickens being traded or moving on elsewhere if that Jerry doesn't want to pay him. So that was it I saw from there, other than the Glazer report about there was also, I didn't know if it was real. I'm going to track it down. I saw a tweet. Here's the tweet. I got to find where it's from. It is actually, it's from a New England beat writer that is passing along something that Diana Rossini said somewhere, that Crosby would like to play for Mike Vrabel. Awesome. Would like to play for the Patriots.
Thank you for that. There's sometimes you just don't tell me things. Don't tell me things. That's terrible.
That's terrible.
I was excited for 7 minutes. I was excited.
Very bad.
7 minutes of excitement. That's all I got.
Nope. He might want to play for the Patriots. Zach Gatsby tweeted that Rossini said that. I don't know where Rossini did say it, but
spoiler: Mike Vrabel hates Max Crosby, so he can't go there. I also saw Glazer say that. What's the price going to be? What are teams going to pay? And he said, and there's no way this is true, he said the price would be bigger than Parsons.
For Crosby?
Yeah. Not true. Not true.
Yeah, because the Parsons package
Two firsts and a defensive starter.
Right.
Max Crosby is not getting you that. Check Micah Parsons' age to Max Crosby's age.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons is 26.
Also, do we have a grasp on... what is Crosby?
Crosby is 28. He'll be 29 to start the season.
Is he on the level of Garrett and Parsons, or is he one ring below that? Is he one ladder step below that? Because he is, I've always thought, great, and I look at some of the pressure numbers. I think he's usually really highly ranking in that category. But, the sack totals are good to great, but they're not eye-popping, right? He's never had 15 sacks in a season.
Can I give you a name of who he is? Is he Bosa in his prime? Which is Joey
Bosa in his prime.
Very good, but not Garrett, not Will Anderson, not...
the first, 5 to 6 years of their careers, I guess sack-wise only, are pretty similar.
He's got double digits here, 12 and a half, 14 and a half.
He does. But he doesn't have that I led the league in sacks this season. Hendrickson's got a couple of 17 and a half sack seasons, right?
Yeah, right.
Garrett's got his 20 sack seasons, and TJ Watt's got his 20 sack seasons. And Crosby doesn't have that, but I don't think that has to mean, I think sacks is the most pedestrian way to look at how good these guys are. I don't want to just judge him just based on, you never had 15 sacks in a season, so you can't be one of the elite pass rushers.
He's a 2-time All-Pro second team.
Okay. Yep.
He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. The biggest thing about Crosby that stands out is he never misses any games.
Yeah, that's too.
None.
Right. That's very different from Joey Bosa.
Yeah, his numbers, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 12, and then 15. So he missed 4 games in 2024. But other than that...
I just think I would question that he's worth what Parsons got.
If he doesn't miss
he's worth a lot.
If he doesn't miss those 4 games in 2024, he probably has 4 straight double-digit sack seasons.
Right.
But I don't think he's Parsons. He's not getting 2 firsts and a player.
No, I'm definitely trading a first, though.
Yeah, probably.
I think I'm definitely trading a first for him. Right?
You mean any team or the Bills?
Well, like, the Bills or any. Well,
sure.
right.
And any team is going to have to pony up first in the neighborhood.
I think if you want to be seriously in the ball game for him, your starting point has to be a first-round pick. And then probably it will be more than that. I just don't think the more than that will equate to another first and a starter. Like, I'm not trading you Ed Oliver and another first to get Maxx Crosby. Like, that's what Parsons went for, and that's crazy land, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that. But here we go.
He is great.
He's definitely he'd be the best pass rusher the Bills have had since I want to say like Jerry Hughes, who was very productive, but he's definitely better
Mario Williams.
Yeah.
He's the best since he would be the best since Mario Williams.
He's better than Jerry Hughes. He's the best since Mario Williams. He's the best. Yeah, that's it. Mario's the easy answer.
And which is over a decade ago now.
Yeah, Mario was great.
Yeah. Like but I do think like that New England report, like they are going to be chasing the same things the Bills are going to be chasing, right? This offseason? Like
receiver
and edge.
Defensive end, and they have a lot of cap. They have a lot of room to spend.
They have more cap than you do, and now like the reason I really did not like seeing that is the realization of like, okay, they're a destination now. Like I think the Bills have in part taken advantage of in the last 5 years, New England, when Belichick was there especially, like nobody really wanted to go there. Mm-hmm. They were trying desperately to get receivers. They were willing to pay prices for Amari Cooper and Brandon Ayuk, and they were willing to pay more on Chris Godwin. That's before Vrabel coached a game yet. And all those guys are like, no thanks. We're good. Patriot way, Belichick, I don't want to do it. And now if Vrabel is going to be having players looking at that team like, okay, yeah, I want to play for that guy. And the quarterback's great, and they proof of concept. They were in the Super Bowl, then that's gonna be tough to, I think, leapfrog them back. You can easily do it, but they're not going away, and this is evidence of it. They're going to get better. Their roster is going to get better next year. They'll probably land, if it's not Crosby, they will land on somebody.
Somebody
They'll
big.
get somebody big.
And right. They actually, there's also a point about the Patriots that, these two teams, Seattle and New England, something that's different about them in this playoffs, this postseason, this Super Bowl, that's not normally true. These teams were both built in free agency to a large degree. Seattle's got a lot through the draft, and you'll see their first-round picks. Mm. But in terms of percentage of team brought in through free agency, New England's number one. Their team is a lot of free agents.
Yeah.
On defense, you can talk about Diggs, Milton Williams. I mean, Mac Hollins. I know that Mac Hollins isn't exactly the biggest signing, but it's a lot of players they kind of identified, which is also something they did the first time they won a Super Bowl. They were this band of misfits that, they didn't fit anywhere else, and they put them all together, and they have had success in free agency. Milton Williams is a big part of that. Like, he's been awesome for them since coming over from Philly. So, man, boy, you really put a wet blanket on the whole idea. Like, what do you think about Crosby? Like, he wants to play for the team that you hate the most.
Yeah.
All right, great.
I did find the Rossini clip. It's on, I just retweeted it. She said it on 98.5 in Boston on Radio Row yesterday.
Okay, well, let's get her on WGR Sports Radio 550.
I was going to say.
Does he want to play for Joe Brady?
I want to hear, is there a list? Is there a list of teams? I mean, of course there would be, right? There'd be a list of teams he would want to play for.
Well, he can probably pick his spot. He can pick a spot and maybe not pick a spot like Artemi Panarin did for a very limited return in a trade to the Kings. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
803-0550. All right. So we got plenty to get to today. The Crosby idea. I saw a suggested trade of a first and a second. You know me, I'm going to be reluctant to do that. I'm a little more reluctant to do the big defensive end trade just because I feel like they've already done that so many times. They haven't made the trade, but they've really spent so much in the position, and now a Crosby trade. If they did it, I'd immediately get excited, but I don't know if it's my favorite idea. And I guess thinking about a Twitter.
The cap hit, by the way, for his new team would be $30.7 million.
Right, you got to get $30 million under to even have the conversation.
Yeah, you would probably want to extend him soon after that.
Yep.
So it would have to be your first move, probably. Right?
Yep.
You got to do that before free agency so you have the room to get him in the boat, and then you can maybe give him an extra year or two and spread it out.
And we'll talk to Brandon Bean today. We can get questions in about the cap. How much room will you have after restructures? Is there a potential plan A for restructures, plan B, the pull out all the stops plan for extensions and restructures? That's all potentially there. Like Dawson Knox is in the mix here. They're going to save $10 million on him if they let him go. Would they restructure him instead? So it'll be tight, I think, but maybe enough room to at least do something and then extend a guy after that.